Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a tribute reaction, man. Damn, I never thought that I was gonna actually see you guys so soon, right after Alan White, just a couple of days. But I did actually open my damn mouth and say it, that this is the season where we're gonna be losing a number of our great icons and our heroes and influencers. So here we go. Just 48 hours removed. Got word that Ronnie Hawkins has passed. So, man, first off, I want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to the person who notified me and sent me links, Charles Hogue. Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. And so, what we are going to do here for Ronnie Hawkins and his tribute is it looks like we're going to be taking a look at some live material. And I'm just going to read Charles's note, and that's going to kind of give us an outline. Charles says, Wayne, an old-time and very influential rock artist named Ronnie Hawkins has passed away. Ronnie was in the business a long time and played with all the greats. He is credited with being a major driving influence behind the forming of The Band with Levon Helm. I've put together a couple pieces reflecting his work. The first is an early appearance on the Dick Clark Show, and the second is an extended live performance from Toronto in '95. In the first video, a 17-year-old Levon Helm is the drummer. The second features Ronnie with an all-star band including Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Jeff Healey. Fantastic. All right, yeah. So, it looks like two live performances, one really early and one in his later career. So it's a really, really good contrast to do a back-to-back on that. So we'll do a back-to-back on that, and then we'll take a look at the man himself and do kind of like a bio read from Wikipedia. That's usually the format of my tribute reactions. So, with all of that said, let's hit this up, man. Take a look at the great Ronnie Hawkins. Not that I know his material so well, but I just know that he's great. You know, even though I wasn't brought up on classic rock, I know the importance of certain people, you know, and this person is definitely a person of influence. So, with that said, starting with 40 Days, Ronnie Hawkins live. Let's get it.
From New York, in the little theater on 44th Street, just west of Broadway, it's time for music, fun, and excitement
It's
with
one
your
of my favorite
recording
TV
artist
personalities.
and your Saturday night host, Dick Clark.
Cheers to you, sir.
The Dick Clark Beatnut Show with the Starlighters, Ronnie Hawkins, Jesse Belvin, Johnny Horton, and Paul Anka. Now, here's the star of our show, Dick Clark!
All the adults and the kids in the same party, it's all dressed up nice. Great Dick Clark.
Thank you very much. Whoops. Thank you very much. You know, for a fellow who's never been on a horse in all of his life, this is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? We decided, what with all of the westerns on television, that we're not going to fight them tonight, we're going to join them. I think there's only one fellow back there who's ever been on a horse in his life for any extended length of time. But I think you'll enjoy the show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. It has a western sort of theme about it. The first group that you will meet tonight, perhaps you've never seen before, maybe you have seen them but once. It's a wild and fantastic experience. The song is called 40 Days. With the Hawks, ladies and gentlemen, Ronnie Hawkins.
40 days to get back home. I done called up a gypsy woman on the telephone. Gonna sing out a worldwide hoodoo that I did a regular thing that's true. I wanna say she'll be back for 40 days.
It's got the aprons on.
40 days. 40 days. I'm gonna say she'll be back home in 40 days. I'm gonna sing out a worldwide hoodoo that I did a regular thing that's true. I'm gonna say she'll be back for 40 days.
So let's leave one hand on the drums.
the judge in a Friday early this morning. Well, it took me to the sheriff, offered to sign a warning. You're gonna go from charge again. That ain't the very thing that I said. I'm gonna see she'll be back home 40 days. 40 days. 40 days. I'm gonna see she'll be back home in 40 days.
They're loving that.
I'm gonna see she'll be back home in 40 days.
They just realized they were on camera. Give the man back his chair. That was
Thank you,
cool.
Ronnie, very much. Ronnie Hawkins in the heart. Isn't that a wild thing? Whoo-wee, the man beating that piano. Whew. What a way to start the evening.
Fantastic. Okay.
In the heat of the day, down in
There he
Mobile,
is.
Alabama, working on a river with a steel.
This is over 10 minutes long, by the way.
Get some money, buy some brand new shoes. Try to get somebody to take away these blues. She don't love to hear him singing in the sun. Hey, they coming when the work is all done.
There he is. Jeff Healy.
Up in the evening when the sun is sinking low, standing there waiting for the whistle to blow. Sitting in a TV building right on the tracks, rolling them bones until the foreman gets back. Pick up your belongings all scattered about. We got a non-scheduled train coming 10 miles out.
Alan.
Everybody screaming and a jumping around, picking up the money, till the TV down. The foreman's in a panic, about to go insane, trying to get the workers out the way of the train. Engineer blowing the whistle loud and long. We can't stop the train, we gotta let it roll on.
I think Alan now sends lead for Styx. You guys ever see Jeff in Roadhouse? He's quite a good actor as well.
Not a bad little rhythm section here, folks, for a bunch of farmers. Oh, man, what a night. I'm
So
going to
this
try
is
to be
a-
60 every year from now on, folks.
Maybe 60.
Thank you. I want to tell you something, folks. If I were ruler of the world and I could hire any musician I wanted to play that old Memphis stuff I loved all my life, everybody on here would have been in it right here. There's 1,000 years of knowledge, at least. Well, 500 just counting Carl. Oh, let me think. Let's just do one and see what happens. Because, boy, if I can get Jerry Lee in the mood, the National Enquirer will be here in about 15 minutes. All right, what about that little blonde-headed drummer back there, boy? Here's the blues. We got to dedicate this one to John Lennon and, of course, Dwayne Allman, who played guitar on the original recording. We're going to let the boys do a little of that. Here's one called, Jerry, you remember this one, about 1840. It's called Down in the Alley. Let her go, boy. Down in the alley, just you and me. We're going bowling till 3:30. She's rocking and reeling. We'll get that feeling down in the alley, just you and me.
I've heard B.B.
I'll
King sing
dance
this.
you now and dig you later, 'cause you're a fine
Colin James as
sweet
well.
potato. We'll have a ball, and that ain't all. Down in the alley, just you and me. You and me, baby, play some song. The clock is striking
I heard the
a
sexy sax.
mournful sound. It's time of evening, my love goes down. It's when I'm missing her kind of kissing down in the alley. It's where I'll be. Yes, sir, play some blues, boy. We sure have fun. We just get started about 1:30. So if you're around, just drop on down in the alley, and you will see. I'll just go home, baby.
still got it. That was a great jam.
You got the killer rocking, man. He's ready now. Look out now, folks. The killer's getting ready.
Excellent. What a way to celebrate your 60th. Jamming with your favorite musicians, having a good time. Sorry if I'm talking too loud. I had this thing cranked, so I noticed that whenever I have it cranked, I talk a little bit louder, so sorry about that. I was digging that shit, man. Excellent. Excellent. The great Jeff Healey, all of these excellent musicians in total. Hey, I got a question. Larry Gowan. Am I right or am I wrong? Did he not take over lead singing duties live for Styx? Was that just a one-time thing or what? But I remember seeing him performing with Styx and singing some of the lead stuff. And in particular, Lady. I don't know if it was a one-off thing, but let me know about that. All right, man. So there we have it, man. Ronnie Hawkins and all of these really, really excellent and very influential people, you know, on one stage, man. Really, really good company. And it just goes to show you just how many people really appreciated Ronnie's camaraderie and being around him and being a part of his orb and his universe. Fantastic, man. Yeah, I'm sure that this guy is going to be very, very sorely missed. And right off the top, man, condolences to all of the fans who have lost such a great, great iconic personality in music. So let's do this, man. Ronnie Hawkins. But I think what I might do is I might pause because I'm starting to hear outside that they're switching out garbage bins and stuff like that. And that shit is so loud and thunderous, and it's hard to actually take it out with the editing program. So let me pause for a second and then we'll be back for the review, okay? All right, see you in a second. Okay, y'all, let's do a little review, man, and get a little bio read in here, a little background on the life of Ronnie Hawkins. So, Ronnie Hawkins. Ronald Cornett Hawkins. January 10th, 1935 to May 29th, 2022, was an American-Canadian rock and roll singer, songwriter, whose career spanned more than half a century. He began in Arkansas, where he was born and raised. He found success in Ontario and lived there for most of his life. He's considered highly influential in the establishment and evolution of rock music in Canada. Also known as Rompin' Ronnie, Mr. Dynamo, or The Hawk, he was one of the key players in the 1960s rock scene in Toronto. He performed all across North America and recorded more than 25 albums. His hit songs include covers of Chuck Berry's 30 Days, retitled 40 Days, and Young Jesse's Mary Lou, a song about a gold digger. Other well-known recordings are a cover of Bo Diddley's Who Do You Love? Without the question mark, Hey Bo Diddley and Susie Q, which was written by his cousin, rockabilly artist Dale Hawkins. Hawkins was a talent scout and mentor of the musicians he recruited for his band, the Hawks. Roy Buchanan was an early Hawk guitarist on the song Who Do You Love? The most successful of his students were those who left to form the band. Others he had recruited later formed Robbie Lane and the Disciples, Janis Joplin's Full Tilt Boogie Band, Crowbar, Barefoot, and Skylark. Skylark. Is that the band that sang Wildflower? Is it? I think it's Wildflower. That's their biggest hit. I might be thinking of the wrong band. Early life. Hawkins was born January 10th, 1935 in Huntsville, Arkansas, 2 days after the birth of Elvis. He was the son of Flora Cornett, a school teacher, and Jasper Hawkins, a barber. In 1945, his family moved to nearby Fayetteville, Arkansas. As a teen, Hawkins ran moonshine from Missouri to the dry counties of Oklahoma in his modified Model A Ford, sometimes making $300 a day. Yo, man, back in the day, you were a rich dude. He had already formed his first band, the Hawks, when he graduated from high school in '52, following which he studied physical education at the University of Arkansas, where he dropped out just a few credits short of graduation. Hawkins then enlisted in the U.S. Army, but he was required to serve only 6 months, having already completed ROTC training. His group, renamed the Black Hawks, continued to perform in the South until his enlistment ended when it disbanded. He went back to Fayetteville and 2 days later he got a call from Sun Records, who wanted him to front the house session band. By the time he got to Memphis, though, the group had already broken up. Nevertheless, he took advantage of the opportunity to cut 2 demos, Lloyd Price's Loudy Miss Cloudy and Hank Williams' Mansion on the Hill, but the recordings got no attention. The demo sessions guitarist Jimmy Ray Luke Paulman suggested that Hawkins join him on his home in Helena, Arkansas, in the heart of the Mississippi Delta region, a hotbed of blues, rhythm and blues, and country music, an offer which he eagerly accepted. Smart man, man. That was the time. He knew that there was a melting pot and things were brewing. There's nothing like an artist who's got that awareness, that situational awareness of where he's at and the times that he's in, those kind of visionaries. I dig people like that who have really strong atmospheric awareness. That's one of the reasons why Jimmy Page is my favorite artist, because he has such sharp atmospheric awareness. And I really dig people like Hawkins, who knew where he was at, what he was going to do, and how he was going to get there. Fantastic. So being ready for that opportunity and jumping at it made all the difference in the world. Immediately upon arriving in Helena, Hawkins and Paulman found Paulman's brother George and their cousin Willard Pop Jones and formed a band they named the Hawks. Drummer Levon Helm, who had grown up in the nearby Turkey Scratch, Arkansas, first played with the group at the Delta Supper Club in early '57. Hawkins' live act included backflips and a camel walk that preceded Michael Jackson's moonwalk by 3 decades. Yeah, I saw little bits of that camel walk that he was doing in 40 Days. His stage persona gained him the monikers Romping Ronnie and Mr. Dynamo. Hawkins also owned and operated the Rockwood Club in Fayetteville, where some of rock and roll's earliest pioneers came to play, including Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, Roy Orbison, and Conway Twitty. The great Conway Twitty. Conway died really young, didn't he? He's been gone a long time, right? Like 30 years, something like that? Wow, was it cancer? I can't remember what took him so early. Conway Twitty and Dottie West, I remember they were really young when they passed. Alright, career. On advice from Twitty, Hawkins began touring Canada in '58. His first gig there was at the Golden Rail Tavern in Hamilton, Ontario, where he became an overnight success. In '59, he performed a number of live shows in the country and signed a 5-year contract with Roulette Records. He subsequently moved to Canada and in '64 became a permanent resident. In 2017, he moved from Stony Lake Manor in Douro-Dummer, where he had resided since 1970, to Peterborough, Ontario. Yeah, that's just outside of Toronto. After the move to Canada, the Hawks, with the exception of Hawkins and drummer Levon Helm, dropped out of the band. Their vacancies were filled by Southwestern Ontarians Robbie Robertson, Rick Danko, Richard Manuel, and Garth Hudson. All these Hawks left Hawkins in '64 to form a group which came to be known as the Band. In December of '69, Hawkins hosted John Lennon and Yoko Ono for a stay at his home in Mississauga, Ontario, during the couple's campaign to promote world peace. Lennon signed his erotic Big One lithograms during his stay there. Lennon also did a radio promo for a Hawkins single, a version of the Clover song Down in the Valley. When their visit ended, Lennon and Ono, with Hawkins and his wife Wanda as part of their entourage, took the CNR Rapido train to Montreal, where they engaged in their bed-in for peace. Yeah, that's what it's called, bed-in for peace at the Queen Elizabeth Hotel. Yo, man, holy. This is a tremendous amount of history here. You know what? I gotta scroll down. I can't read it all. Yeah, lots and lots of timestamps. Yeah, okay, let me read this last part and then go to his later life and then all of his awards. Let me read this part. On January 10th in 95, Hawkins celebrated his 60th birthday by sponsoring a concert at Massey Hall in Toronto. This is what we just watched, which was documented on the album Let It Rock. The concert featured performances by Hawkins, Carl Perkins, Jerry Lee Lewis, the band, and Larry Gowan. Jeff Healey sat in on guitar for most, if not all, of the performances. Hawkins' band, the Hawks, or permutations of it, backed the performers. All of the musicians performing that night were collectively dubbed the Rock and Roll Orchestra. Nice. Okay, let's go down to, later life and his passing. Let's see what happened to him. Later in life. In later years, Hawkins developed pancreatic cancer and recovered, which he attributed to everything from psychic healers to native herbal medicine. Same with Suzanne Summers. Remember she had breast cancer? His mysterious recovery was featured in the 2012 film Ronnie Hawkins, Still Alive and Kicking. Hawkins died in the early morning of May 29, 2022, at the age of 87. He was survived by his wife of 60 years, Wanda, their two sons, Ronnie Jr. and Robin, and daughter Leah. Quite a legacy, and great recovery too. Lived to a nice ripe old age. That's really excellent to live that long, considering that you had a cancer diagnosis. Yo, look at the awards, man. Oh my gosh. Yo. I can't read all of this, y'all. Okay, I'll read the top part and then the bottom part. In 2002, October 4th was declared Ronnie Hawkins Day by the City of Toronto as he was inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame in recognition of his lifetime contributions to music and his generous support of Schizophrenia Society of Ontario and other charitable organizations. He was inducted into the Canadian Music Hall of Fame at the Canadian Music Industry Awards on March 4th, 2004. His pioneering contribution to the genre was also recognized by the Rockabilly Hall of Fame. In 2005, Hawkins was awarded an honorary degree from Laurentian University. On May 2, 2013, Hawkins was made an Officer of the Order of Canada. He was invested on May 7, 2014. The citation reads, quote, look at this citation. Yo, man. Okay, I gotta read it. For his contributions to the development of the music industry in Canada as a rock and roll musician and for his support of charitable causes. For many than 50 years, musician Ronnie Hawkins has demonstrated a strong devotion to Canada's music industry. Often referred to as the father of Canadian rock and roll, he was a key player in the 1960s rock scene, with his band, the Hawks, serving as a launching pad for a host of Canadian musicians. In addition to producing scores of singles and albums, he has performed in support of many charitable causes, notably the Peterborough Flood Relief and the Schizophrenia Society of Ontario. Okay, let's scroll down. Some more awards, man. Other awards include a Juno Award for Making It Again in 1984, the Walt Graylis Special Achievement Award from the Canadian Academy of Recording Artists and Sciences, presented at the Juno Awards in '96, and a Special Achievement Award from the Society of Composers, Authors, and Music Publishers, SOCAN, in 2007. Let's stop there, man. Holy cow. So the dude, his life, basically, just based on his timeline along the course of his life, he's influenced so many, and also he's given back a lot, passing the torch to a lot of other great artists, collaborating, rubbing shoulders with them, offering all kinds of guidance and things like that, but also doing a lot of really good, credible work outside of the music. Being part of the panels for charitable causes and all kinds of different things. So yeah, man, the guy was definitely a great stand-up credit to not only the music scene, but also as a really excellent citizen on both sides of the border, both American and Canadian. So really fantastic person, and will definitely be sorely missed, let me tell you. And again, condolences to a lot of the fans out there who I'm sure, a lot of you old cats, you're still around, and you probably met this guy, rubbed shoulders with him, probably sat at his table, had a few drinks with him, had supper with him, that sort of thing. You've definitely got some really cool stories to tell about this guy. If you're an old cat and you're watching this, let me know your story about Ronnie Hawkins. I'm quite sure that you guys have some really interesting things to talk about. All right, so I'm scrolling down looking at my notes. I don't have any notes, man. The only thing that I can say is that I hope that we're not seeing each other anytime too soon. I know that this is the time, this is the season, it seems, from spring to fall is when a lot of, if you've noticed this, I've noticed this, when a lot of influencers and icons pass, between spring and fall. These are the months. So hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we're not going to have too many of them just passing. But it's the season, and I'm not going to be surprised. I am a little bit surprised that, just 48 hours removed from Alan White, here we are doing another tribute reaction. In my mind, I was probably thinking like a couple of months down the road, and here we are, basically just a couple of days. So fingers crossed that we're not going to have too many of them leaving us anytime soon. Anyways, back to Charles. Charles, thanks very much. I appreciate the notification and also sending links. Thank you very much for that. And just a quick note, whenever someone of influence passes, and if you're looking at maybe perhaps if I have the time to do a tribute reaction, remember to send me links, okay? A notification isn't enough, because I'm a guy who will not know what songs might be appropriate for a tribute reaction, what the body of work is for the particular artist, or the timeline. Well, let me give you an example of that. With Alan White, I wasn't quite sure of the timeline factor of his contributions for Yes. So from the Bill Bruford years to the Alan White years, what was the dividing line? Little details like that I won't know. So when you're sending me notifications of someone's passing, keep all of that stuff in mind for me, okay? And give me appropriate links for that appropriate artist based on their timeline and their contributions and all of that stuff. The last thing that I would ever want to do is to do a tribute reaction based on a body of work done by someone else and then have everyone jump on me. So I don't want that hassle. All right, with all of that said, fingers crossed with me that this is going to make it onto YouTube. I really hope that all of the tribute reactions make it onto YouTube. Another thing about that too, when you're sending me tribute reactions, it would be really cool if you probably send me more live stuff. I find that the live stuff has a much better chance of sticking on YouTube than any studio stuff. So if you remember that down the road for tribute reactions, send me live performances. It has a much better chance. So fingers crossed with me that this makes it onto YouTube. All right, y'all, have a good one. Take care, and hopefully you're not going to see me anytime soon. Peace.